Guys, guess what? The cup is out live right now with a huge 30% off celebration code Angry Joe down below. Angry Joe and G Fuel. It's official. We've got our own cup. Grab it now so that in the future maybe we can have our own flavor. You must drink it in this. And grab some tubs, right? Right now with 30% off. Might I suggest PewDiePie, Phase X is a good flavor. Guava, it's delicious, guys. So stay up late nights gaming with G Fuel, and thank you for directly supporting our show by grabbing a cup. All right, do grab one, tweet it at me. I want to see it. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Yup, it's a list that's almost 7 months late. But where the hell has all our games been? Barely anything has come out this year. But fear not, I'm here to cheer you up because I have a list of top 15 games that are still coming out later on this year. So this is it. This is the top 15 most anticipated games of 2021. Number 15. Stray. That cat game that Sony showed off a while back. You know, what's not to love about being a stray cat and doing stray cat things? Now, we don't know much about gameplay, but I did figure out that the game will be officially shown off in July 29th in the showcase, so hopefully we should know a lot more by then, and if it is truly coming out this year or not. If it gets delayed, I'm sorry, but I love kitties, and in case you couldn't tell, so I'm totally in, and we'll see if this game actually comes out this year and what the hell you do in it. If you're just a kitty, then hey, we'll be kitties. Number 14.
Strengthen your resolve and fight the darkness that aims to consume us all. Will you fight for our people? Will you fight for your king?
King's Bounty 2. I've got a ton of strategy games on my list this year. A rebirth of the RTS turn-based strategy goodness this year, right? While tons of other games are delayed, it seems like a lot of strategies are coming out around this time. I've got 6 of them on this list. King's Bounty 2, it's a turn-based role-playing game that has added a ton of new stuff to the classic gameplay. It's like this hex-based third-person, they have hex-based battles, but it's like this third-person movement camera around the map that makes it feel like a RPG instead of like that isometric view like in a Heroes of Might and Magic. You get to talk with people, you make dialogue choices, you pick up quests, and then you get into combat. Boom, bam, the combat that we've known. The amount of customization in this game I've seen is insane. Gear, ranks, different types of units. It's all a ton of stuff. It's got that old school feel with some modern graphics, so I'm hoping that it can deliver on that.
People of Nostria, you laid faith in my father. Do so to me. We must look towards the horizon for Nostria.
Number 13. Scorn. Xbox is exclusive, right? Exploration, there's gonna be puzzles, and grossness, you know, weird shit. I don't really know too much about it, other than it instantly looked like H.R. Geiger, you know, with the world and the designs. And that's honestly actually enough for an insta-buy from me. I just love the art style and the weirdness of the melding of the sexual, sci-fi, gross aliens, monsters, mysterious designs. Now there is a 13-minute of gameplay out there video that you can watch, and I hope my expectations live up to it. That horror and sci-fi mixed together, an interesting story of discovery as you wake up like the skinless human and you attach things to you. Now believe it or not, this actually started as a Kickstarter in 2 parts, and it didn't really take off too much, but with the right funds and Xbox's backing, I believe the game director does have the ability to give us this gross, unique world, and it's finally coming to fruition. So we'll see whether it plays as good as it looks. Number 12. Falling Frontier. I know you haven't heard of this one, but you need to know about it. This awesome new sci-fi space RTS blew me away with its visuals and its design. I love it when you could see the individual decks like ripping apart and this realistic space damage and like the bright glow and sparks of it. It looks cool as hell to see play out. It's hard sci-fi. It's expand, research, upgrade, and far-off star systems. Pick a faction and conquer in this solar system. I just love the background noises, the little chatter of the radio, the zoom-in style of gameplay like Battlestar Galactica, the music. The ship customization looks awesome. There's war and economy intertwined with supply lines, mining resources, fueling your war, hundreds of... And this game isn't about hundreds of ships. It's about like 4 or 5 being led by admirals that you can level up, who can die in battle. That stuff brings you closer to your ships and crew and makes it a much more personal experience. And it's by a smaller developer, so I wish them all the luck, and I cannot wait to support them when the game comes out. Number 11.
In every age, there is a cause worth fighting for. Now the youth of tomorrow must face an enemy more devastating than any ever imagined.
Go, go, go! Move! Troopers, with me!
Starship Troopers, Terran Command. Look, it's Starship Troopers. I'm a sucker for that movie. I fucking love the movie style. Troopers with the platoons of squishy World War II style human tactics versus the arachnids. Just giant masses of bugs and holding your position and using airship support. I freaking love it. And honestly, there weren't too many good games based on Starship Troopers. I think maybe Ascendancy and then one on Game Storm with the Starship Troopers Online. So I was really glad to to see somebody support this franchise again and that I have nostalgia from and make a new game. Like, you know, but I don't know what's going on. What's up with base building? Is it here? I mean, there's clearly bug holes or whatever. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully we will be able to make a reality over our own little, you know, bug battles and actually finish the fight. It's been something like 12 years we've been using mobile infantry notifications on our Twitch, so hopefully everything comes together nicely for this old school movie license game, but the film came out so long ago. And everybody fights, nobody quits. You don't do your job, I'll kill you myself.
A squad of fearless troopers scout ahead. Their orders? Report on enemy numbers, then lure the bugs back to the mighty bulwark of static defenders. The bugs may have the advantage of numbers, but they can't beat our military ingenuity. Would you like to know more?
Number 10.
Knights of Honor 2 Sovereign is an exciting mix of grand strategy depth and real-time approachable gameplay. We hope you've enjoyed this first sneak peek into the visuals of our game and can't wait to show you more about how you can be the Sovereign in coming months. Thank you.
Knights of Honor 2. I actually have fond memories of playing the original Knights of Honor. It was very obscure and I just loved the music. It was really restrictive, it was kind of buggy, and it was not all that great at times, but I loved it. It was like this empire management, and then you zoom in for these real-time battles, kind of thing Lords of the Realm 2, but like, you know, like Total War, kind of a Total War real-time, you know, and instead of being turn-based. It's like grand strategy meets the Total War series. Control your religion, diplomacy, deal with rebellions, resource production, and good old army-on-army combat. Like I said, I remember that music like the back of my hand, playing long hours of the original. If you were ever intimidated by grand strategies like I have been, I think that this is probably the most accessible one that you can get into with the prettiest battles, that toy factor. I need that toy factor. But honestly, I'm a little bit concerned as I actually haven't seen much combat footage from the devs in the preview so far. It's really been a slow leak. So hopefully it will still be great. Apparently your court helps you manage your empire, and you can even go online and join with multiple friends to take on the challenge of medieval Europe. I'm looking forward to playing this one with the boys. Alex and OJ will conquer Europe together, or maybe against each other.
Squire, fetch my armor!
Number 9. Aliens, Fireteam Elite. It's Aliens. Many of you know that my favorite film of all time is Aliens. It's got everything that film: action, horror, sci-fi, strong female lead, badass Marines, terrifying xenomorphs, just all the stuff that I love, right? And now we get a survival co-op game. Think, I guess, Left 4 Dead. Though oddly 3-player instead of 4-player. I guess it's lucky for us and a perfect fit for OJ, Alex, and myself to take on the Xenomorph menace. I just hope to God it's not another fuck-up like Aliens Colonial Marines from Gearbox, right? You know, the story is another LV colony is overrun, and you're sent in to clean up. I don't know much about the story, so the jury is still out, but what remains to be seen is if this can, work. This type of gameplay could work in this over-the-shoulder view, third person, and if there is, in fact, enough variation within that license, the limitations of the license, to make for an addictive game that you'll want to come back to time and time again. It does kind of feel like one you'll play for a week or two and then just pass on afterwards. I'm just hoping that the time you spend with it will be well worth it, and it's worth its purchase price. We're going to be looking for new Xenos, some androids, and other things to help vary up the missions. In any case, I can't wait to suit up and roll out. Number 8. Atomic Heart. Yeah, a lot of you may not know this one, but back in May 2018 is when we first saw the trailer. It was really awesome and people got extremely excited. But where has it been? Where did it go? I've heard of some controversies and then some dispelling those controversies, but apparently it's coming this year, 2021. Think of it as like BioShock with an action-adventure RPG element. And this is gonna be the game for you if you like those, especially if you like weirdness and super unique designs. It's set in this alternate universe, Soviet Union, around 1955, and you play as a mentally unstable KGB agent with weapons and robots that you can discover, and what the fuck is going on in this world? I don't know. I just think the enemy designs are so unique. I can't wait to fight them and check out all these weird animations and these tons of sci-fi ideas. Like, what the hell is going on here with this water-like umbilical cord or trap, or whatever the hell this thing is? Now, yes, there was some controversy over the game's development and trailer, but I think that devs quickly dismissed it and had people actually play and report their experiences that they were, in fact, similar to the trailer. This wasn't bullshot. There was some tinkering around, but eventually, I guess, we're gonna see for ourselves when it finally comes out. Does it live up to the hype? I guess we'll find out. Number 7.
So, will you follow cold calculation or your heart?
The Bazaar needs good people. Help us and you'll find a home here.
Some in the city offer no chance for an alliance. Bandits, outlaws, and common thugs live only to plunder and kill, plunging the streets into chaos.
Dying Light 2. It feels like an eternity that I've been waiting for this game to come out. And yes, at this point, I do want to play a zombie game.
Joe, do you want to play a zombie game?
Fine.
Yeah.
So bring it out already! Finally, this December, we should get our hands on it. Something like 20 years later, the world has been ravaged. I'm talking about in-universe, but also it feels like it's been 20 years. So, you got factions fighting for survival that live in this world, and you're infected in the story, and you're searching for a cure, which could make for a greater story. More gore, more dismemberment, more of all the great stuff that we loved in combat form in the first game. The parkour looks upgraded, crafting weapons. This is all really great stuff in a zombie game to give you that tension. There's almost no guns in this world. It's more focused on low tech or melee, and it's gonna make that even more crazy, right? When those new infected enemy types show up, that terrifying nighttime gameplay, and it is double the size of the original game with different regions, and all this with co-op gameplay, and you make meaningful decisions in the world that changes things. It sounds freaking awesome, and potentially one of the best zombie games ever. Let's hear it.
Joe, you wanna play a motherfucking zombie game?
Even there, you are never safe from swift and deadly virals. Or even greater threat.
Number 6.
Good boy.
Far Cry 6 is about revolution. It just looks fun with some of the best pet companions we've seen yet. These amigos, alligators, this cute chorizo doggy.
Good dog. Good dog.
And the open world and that Far Cry gameplay that we all know and love by now. There's some great actors that they've hired in the cast for villains and the story. And there's some awesome customizable weapons. A lot of real cool guns and far more weapon variety here than ever before. I'm hoping that the gameplay and the story that features those great actors will raise that game to a higher level and make it a little more memorable. I still think Voss is one of the best villains. And oddly, this one actually has some kind of super moves in these backpacks, you know? It kind of brings it into Just Cause territory. Overall, it just looks like a ton of fun. And hopefully it will be a little less cookie cutter and a little bit more creative and innovative. They've got non-violent activities, those are back, dominoes, maybe cockfighting, there's takedowns, horse riding, weapon holstering for some low-profile stealth and role-playing, and of course, co-op play. I'm gonna have a ton of fun playing this game with other Joe.
We lost him!
Watch more from Far Cry 6.
Number 5. Age of Empires 4, this legendary RTS game finally returns in an all-new sequel. The last one I think came out over like 15 years ago, and this new one is developed by Relic Entertainment, so it should be a good one. They've got the pedigree, you know, and it's not just 4 or 6, but there are 8 civilizations at launch, with more coming after release, which is fantastic. 4 of them have distinct and different story-driven campaigns, making for tons of replayability with longer histories for each of those factions. And they tout humanized history gameplay from what they've said. So I'm sure we're gonna be following many historical figures as our main characters as we go through different missions. You've got the Dark Ages, the Feudal Ages, Castle Age, Imperial Ages for all of these empires. There's naval combat, siege combat, and mass ground goodness, and mass ground battles. The visuals backlash initially caused them to kind of correct some of their graphics to a more realistic and clean look rather than the cartoonish look. And I think that's a great community-driven change. Though some argue they could go even more realistic, it's still kind of a little bright and cartoony. But you know what? I cannot wait to play it nonetheless. It's gonna be big. It's on Game Pass from day one on the PC. Everyone should try this out and help out the strategy and RTS genre in gaming. I hope it comes back in a big way with this game leading the charge. It's fully moddable as well, so I'm hoping that we can see some conversions, full conversions, some new campaigns, and way more. Number 4. Halo Infinite. Often delayed, Halo Infinite's development has seen some setbacks. You know, Craig, the mocking of the game's graphics, why wasn't it better? Missing the launch of the Xbox Series X. All of this extra development time, though, is hoped to bring the game up to par. Single-player campaign and a free-to-play multiplayer, all in one package that is supposed to be built to last the test of time and evolve over a decade. Despite this, they say that there's not going to be any loot boxes on the multiplayer side. Thank God. But we'll have to see. New stories, the new grappling hook to help make this one of the more vertical Halos ever. We will see how restrictive the customization ends up being. There are going to be both unpaid unlocks and premium cosmetics. But I am just happy to get back into the Halo lore. And will we see the Arbiter again? What's going on with Cortana? And what will the big baddies be, right? Will they be compelling enough, this big bad guy, this brute dude? But the big reasons that makes this so obvious high on my list is nostalgia and the multiplayer modes. I'm hoping that this can rekindle my love for Halo and give us, just a fun competitive first-person shooter that we can play against and with our friends once again. Number 3.
I will be ready.
Horizon 2 Forbidden West. This game is absolutely beautiful. This is true next-gen graphics, and I cannot wait to play it. We missed a first review of the original game, but we won't be missing this one. There's no loading screens. Aloy ventures into the West 6 months after the first game. There's this new red blight that's killing the land. There's returning characters, a mysterious storm to deal with, a new tribe to fight, and so much more. The locations in this game correspond to real-world California locations only in this universe. Absolutely breathtaking underwater levels that actually make me want to play underwater levels, which is rare. New machines and really cool, unique designs to fight. The lip syncing looks top tier, some of the best I've ever seen since LA Noire, and I expect the story and cinematic direction to be able to rival any major blockbuster film. Discoverable micro stories off on the side, past side quests, and interesting bits aside from the main story is what they've promised us. Of course, there's the set piece areas, and they said that there's going to be a lot more verticality in the battles. Climb almost anything. New machines, new rideables, new weapons. It's gonna make for an even more compelling and amazing Horizon game. If you haven't played the original, go play it, and I cannot wait for this one. Number 2. Total War Warhammer 3. My most anticipated strategy game in a strategy-filled list. The return to the Warhammer universe in Total War. Always planned to be a trilogy from the start, we will be getting the final title in that agreement between Creative Assembly and Sega. And in this title, they go full on chaos. Something like 6 new factions, 4 of them chaos pretty likely, and how they'll integrate the chaos gods themselves. How will they do Daddy Nurgle? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting how it all comes together. And will we finally get like a huge Mortal Empires update after all said and done, combining all of the maps together and all the factions? Oh man, that is going to be ridiculous. You know, Britannia, Troy, 3 Kingdoms. I think it's time, and this game has the potential to surpass those. It's been rocky as of late, but with these amazing animations, the creative creatures from the Warhammer universe, almost a decade of genuinely good top-tier Warhammer video game strategy content that has made the fans so happy with the Total War series. I cannot wait to see what is next. Number 1. This one should have been obvious. Battlefield 2042, my most anticipated game of the year. You guessed it. What looks to be a return to the form of massive battles and combined arms chaos in this new future setting. It looks really good. And while I never will like the loss of the single player campaign, I do think that they've added back in some value with the newly announced Portal mode that allows you to mix and combine stuff from a bunch of different Battlefield games over the franchise's history, making up your own modes, creative gameplay, having control to kick people out of the servers, and sharing it with everyone. It is a creative invention and a risk that I like to be seen being taken here to help evolve and innovate within the franchise. And bringing back some of the really awesome fan favorite maps from each of those games, in addition to all the maps that we're gonna get in the current game, that is a lot, and that's great. With 3 core gameplay modes, the all-out warfare, which is what we know and love it for, Conquest, Breakthrough, and now Portal, that new mode we discussed, and Hazard Zone, which is yet to be revealed, but it's Battle, Royale. They said we don't want to call it Battle Royale, it's Battle Royale with a spin. I think it's similar to Escape from Tarkov type gameplay. They said that this mode was going to be specifically a squad-based, and it's actually going to be a free-to-play mode within the game. That definitely sounds like a battle royale to me. And I'm sure if it's not well received, they could try to spin it into one if they need to. Anyway, there just seems to be a lot on offer here. With the game now going up to 128 players, this is gonna be one hell of a war. And that's it. That is my top 15 games left of 2021. We'll see if all of them on the list come out. I think maybe one or two are still delayed, and trust me, there was a ton of games on this list that I had to rip off the list at the last minute, and they got delayed, but there's still some good ones. I'm very happy with all the strategy games. So tell me, what are the top games on your list that have yet to come out this year, and what are you most looking forward to? All right, guys, please support us by grabbing one of those G Fuel cups, the official Angry Army cup. It's on the path to getting our own flavor. I would love it if you guys can directly support the show by doing so. Click those links down below, get some % off at G Fuel, and enjoy. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. What is this? What is this? What is this, fucking blue? Is this fucking blue?
Oh yeah, you know what time it is. It's time to drop that dookie. Drop that dookie, girl. Drop that dookie. Drop that dookie, girl. That's right. 2012. Oh yeah, you know what time it is. It's time to drop that dookie. Drop that dookie, girl. Drop that dookie. Drop that dookie, girl.